Sometimes some people insult me on purpose just to get me mad at them, to create like a flame war, and then they can pretend to ignore me. Can you believe that shit? You know, on MTV they have flame wars. Nowadays, every time I try to talk about like democracy and like good corporate leadership and governance, like somebody insults me so that they can pretend to, so that I would flame them, and then they can pretend to ignore me. Can you believe that? Can you believe that shit on social media now? I'm over 4 years old. Nobody respects me. It's like egalitarian. Treat me like like I'm 16 years old. Like the 16-year-old nerd in school. Like they try to get me to flame them, and then by pissing me off, and then they just ignore me. Like I'm totally ignoring that guy. Is he talking about me? I'm totally ignoring him. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? So I want to get this straight, right? Because the owner of a team is basically the owner of the company, and the players, right, are the employees. So the owners does not own the employees. You know, CEO don't own you. You know, there's that sort of like college grammar. I own you, bitch, right? But in adult professional life, you don't say that. I own you, bitch, to a big black adult man, right? So the owner owns a corporation or a company that hires people, including professional athletes, right? All right, so what's urban, what's street, what's homies, and what's culture, right? And hip hop. Well, hip hop is genre of music, right? It's kind of like pop art. You know, hip hop is like so like Basquiat. You know, Basquiat is like modern pop, modern art, right? So hip hop is just like art, right? It's like Basquiat. It's like Eddie Warhol. It's pop art, right? So it's just the pop art of music, like a new genre of music that came from like all the stuff that Andy Warhol lived in, all the stuff that Basquiat lived in, right? So it's closely linked to the city environment. They didn't grow up in rural Oklahoma. They didn't grow up in like small town Kansas. You know, they applied their trade in Manhattan, like a big city environment. So you might think, well, Warhol, Basquiat, that's urban art. Well, yeah, it's urban art, but nowadays you can do it anywhere now because they teach it in school, right? So you can live on countryside and be like like a modern urban artist kind of deal, right? So it's a genre now. So you can live in the country and do hip hop, right? Right. So what's urban? Urban is just city environment, not necessarily black, but you know. And what's so big? What's the big deal about city environment, right? More than just the cosmopolitan. It's more than just like the different cultures, like pho and shawarmas and burgers and haggis and all that shit, right? And pizzas and hot dogs and burgers. I said burgers. It's like rich and poor, like living only a block away from each other. So you have to be sensitive, you know. Like maybe you got a huge bonus at work, but you work on Wall Street, and then on the way home, you pass a block of poor people with like single moms and their kids trying to finish homework. You gotta be sensitive. That's urban. So it's unique like that. You know, in some places, the rich just live in communities, and then the poor is over here. Urban nowadays, they want gentrified, right? So you gotta be sensitive, right? And it's like you don't just brag. It's so easy. I own these bitches, and I just made $1 million. Right? You don't brag like nonsense. Like, gotta be aware they're children trying to finish school who are impressionable, right? So that's sort of like the urban environment. Um, street is like basically homeless. Yeah, street is like spending too much time on the street. Like street youth, they're homeless. They're homeless youth. So urban is different from street culture as well. Urban is just living in a city, being aware of everybody just around. Street is actually homeless, more so homeless. You never find a street professional more. I mean, you might find a mime or a sidewalk artist or graffiti mural artist, but that's not street. You know, street is actually homeless. And then there's culture. What's cultural? You know, everybody tends to bunch together, like Vietnamese beauty pageant, um, country fair beauty pageant, um, black beauty pageants. That's culture. Different cultural events. Some are traditional, some are modern. And then homies, homies just stay in. They're like suburbs. They're like my homie in the suburbs. But you know, where I live in Toronto, it's like an inner suburb. So a suburb doesn't have to be outside the city. A suburb can be within the city, a part of the city, like Queens or something, Brooklyn, whatever. So your homies, you live in a suburb within the city. I think what I have to say is pretty good quality. Okay, I'll let you go. Bye.